Let's now create some rocks to put them in the sand and on the island. These rocks look a bit weird, so I don't want to use these. But they are pretty nice. I don't know. Pretty nice, but not like made for LowPoly. So let's just create our own kind of rocks using a simple cube. I want to subdivide it, but 2 times. Okay. Scale this except in VZ, so Shift Z dimension. Now it's a bit more, a bit too much maybe. Okay, this looks fine. Now let's select, oh no, just the vertices. Move them a bit down. Now let's move this a bit, rotate it. I don't know, move these vertices a bit more down. I'm not pleased with it, so let's restart. Sometimes, yeah, I just have to do that. Restarting isn't that bad, so I'm going to use a technique that I already used a while back ago, which is just having a cube, extruding both sides and scaling them down. Which is really nice to create some simpler rocks. And let's give this a reddish kind of gray material. It is too much red. Okay. We can change the color later on as well. I want to add some randomness, so going to change it anyways. Let's just put them into all these spots of our scene where we want them to be later on. Just creating some spots where they like concentrate. Also some separation, kind of wall type of structure, so. Okay. This looks bad. If we render this, oh, doesn't actually look too bad, but because they are not randomized. So I want to move these over to a new layer, which will help us in a second. Okay, and I'm going to select one, enable the organic kind of modeling, and select random. Because if I now rotate it and enable individual origins, you can see that they are all randomly rotated. Nice trick, isn't it? Okay, let's set this to medium point again, to smooth again, and go to the other layers as well. Now we have to do some rotating and scaling to fit them back in again. Because random is good, but you need some, well, artistic placing as well. Yes, you can see that this looks way better than well, just random rocks. So let's make this stick out of the ground a bit. This one as well. It looks neat. Do the same thing over here. To rotate these so that they, well, are on the edge between sand and grass. Okay. This is going well. Maybe it's a bit too many rocks, but if you move these down, you won't see much of them. But still, I want to keep the scene consistent, so we're even modeling the backside of it this time. Don't always do that, but sometimes it's good. Also, I'm getting into game development, and well, you don't have an angle that you can't really see over there, so so this isn't very exciting, but it's quite important where you place your objects. So want this to be next to this one. Okay. I sometimes think about these objects like they have personality. Like these two maybe belong to each other, so we have like groups which maybe have a main object and the other ones are just, well, placed around that one single object. I don't know, but it should work. Yes. Very good. Okay, now let's save this, because last time we crashed our tutorial, which wasn't that fun. So, project, LowPoly, Island. Okay. Let's have a look at the, not at Steam. Man. No, thank you. Okay. We have some bushes, we have some kind of no trees. So we need to create those, and maybe some let's randomize the rock colors first, because I don't want to create anything else before they are or aren't perfect. Also, I want to have like two types of rocks, because if I have a look at this image, we have these very steep rocks and some like plates or ground rocks, which I want to add as well. So Yes, we're going to create those as well. But first of all, let's get a mix RGB node in the node editor and get our rock material in both of these and make one a bit brighter, one a bit darker. I want to desaturate the brighter one so that it is still a rock color, and use input object info and the random factor to, well, randomize the colors of our rocks a bit. You can see we have some darker, some brighter rocks now, which is really nice. Okay, but let's create a second type of rock, kind of ground plate rock. Maybe, I don't know, maybe create a bit higher area over here, support it with rocks as well. I think that might be a nice detail to have. Because it adds a bit of variety. We might do the same thing over here. It is too high. Okay. Yes, it looks good. Okay. Ground plates. Let's just duplicate one of these. Reset the rotation by hitting right click over here and hit a V, which will set it to default mode again, and just scale it in the Z dimension. And this is the rock material, but I want to have a new bright rock material, which will use brighter materials. Okay. Let's test this. Yep. Looking good. Okay, let's place these again. We don't need that many of them, because just want them to have, or to be on the outer edge. Okay, now select them one by one, move them down to the ground and rotate them appropriately. This is, I don't know, I don't like the structure that the green is going around here, so I will probably move them next to this rock. That is like my thought process on composition over here, but because this looks nicer somehow. I don't really know why, but it does. So let's stick with that. Move this down. I mean, we can't see these, so it's not that important that they look perfect. Okay. Now we have 2 rock types, which is pretty good. Do we need to do more rocks? No, don't think so. I want to saturate the sand a bit again. I don't know. It looked too desaturated to me. Okay. Now we add bushes. Yes. Let's go to a new tab and create a icosphere. What I want to do now is I want to use the sculpt mode to modify this a bit. I'm going to enable dynamic topology, disable the symmetry, increase the brush size to 50. Yes. Decrease the weight a bit, and I will just start sculpting some blobs on this. Increase the strength to 1. Can zoom out a bit to make it a bit bigger, the blob. I'll zoom in to make it smaller. And okay. We call it a bush, but this is obviously not LowPoly, so we're going to use the decimate modifier to make it LowPoly. Well, now add a leaves color, maybe a second one as well. Make it a bit more, well, dry, I guess. And that is it. Now place them all over the island, where you would guess bushes would go. I don't know what we will do with the center part. Need something over there. Even though this might work, could also add another rock at this edge. Yeah, let's do that for now. Okay. And just put some random ones at the backside. And I want to rotate them a bit, so that, well, they look even more random. Don't like the color yet. Let's try some different colors and see which one is the best. This one could do. More darkish one. Yeah, okay. But this is still too empty. We need to add more nature stuff. Let's have a look at it. Also have these kind of smaller trees. Maybe I want to create some of these to add them to our island. By the way, this not perfect yet. Maybe even a bright tone. I don't know, we can change it in the end when we have all the colors, but this looks better for now. Okay. And I will now add the environment texture, because, I don't know, I want to get the lighting right at this point. So, instead of using just a blue color, we're going to add an environment texture. I will hopefully put you a link to this in the description. But if I don't, you can just search for, well, HDRI texture or environment texture. So let's go to Blender textures, environment. I will use the Canyon one. Which I don't want these to appear, but yeah, it's a bit of, well, better environment lighting. I don't know, what would the sky look like? Bluish. Okay, let's create a plane to emulate that. Obviously not in the center of the island. And I will give this an emission material so that it doesn't care about the environment. Color will be an, well, let's go to the node editor. Let's add an image. Texture, image texture, open. They have a self-made gradient texture. Self-made gradient. Which just looks like, I can show it to you over here. Gradient. Which is just a 1 pixel wide gradient. It goes from, well, bright to dark, so not very hard to create if you want to get one of those on your own. But I will plug in a converter, color ramp. The gradient will, okay, let's hit U, unwrap, or U, project from view bounce, rotate it 180 degrees. So our darkest color will be a blue. Our bright color would be a blue as well. Now we can like slide these a bit to create a nice sky. Render this, you can see, very good. nice and clean sky in the background. We'll probably add some clouds later on as well. Oh, we have to join these together first and then these, okay. So, but I want to take care of this edge now. I'm going to do that in this way. Going to select only this. Oh. Let's move these over to a new layer. And I will join these objects together. And then I'm going to subdivide our water plane without any fractal. I want it to be rather flat. Maybe subdivide it another time. Okay. Now I'm going to add an lattice. And type 10 here and 10 here as well. And scale it so that it is like a cage around our model. Then I'm going to add a lattice modifier to our original mesh, and in this way we can, well, deform our mesh without deforming it itself, so that we can still keep it. But what I want to do is want to select the inner parts, enable, let's deselect that, enable the organic modeling again. I want this to be a bit roundish. You see that it is like kind of curved. Let's enable the other layers again. Obviously we need to move this down again so that it fits. Oh, we did it perfectly on the first try, okay. And now you can see that it kind of curves around, which isn't super realistic, but it takes care of that edge back there, and it has a nice like photo effect. Sometimes if you have a very like wide lens, it does the same thing, where it like stretches the outer parts a bit. Okay. What I don't like though is that the sky looks brighter over here because it is like a bit more up, so let's add some loop cuts here as well. And curve the sky as well. This should give us a better result. Yes, maybe I even do it a bit too much so that the lighting in the center is brighter, so that we concentrate more on the center. That might even be a nice tool to use. Yes, yes, I like that. Let's make it a bit more extreme. Scale this in VZ. So that this effect really stands out and supports our scene. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Now, I want to make the water plane smooth. Smooth shading. Because it's flat right now, which shows a bit that there were edges in the water, and I don't want that to happen. Okay. Pretty nice indeed. Let's add some smaller trees over here. And then maybe we can add some planks and boats. But I will take a break for a second and I will see you, well, after that.